There was something else that I read the other day. It's like, how do you make a difficult decision? It said to imagine yourself at like 80 years old or 85 years old, looking back in your life, is there a decision that you wish you would have made then that would have, changed your life for the better or for
Mm-hmm.
the worse? And so, yeah, when I think about that, I do want to look back in my 30s and say, I did give this a try. And I think, like I said, life is so short. Um, if we don't try, we'll never know. And
Right.
so I think even if it doesn't work out, it becomes an experience. Every failure is a lesson,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just part of life. And um, it is very scary, that's for sure. But I think the fulfillment and the reward of even stepping out of your comfort zone, like you said, you don't want to do something, you're going to try to push yourself to do it. I find
Mm-hmm.
that so courageous, and I lack that. And even I sometimes don't feel comfortable calling myself an entrepreneur because I feel like there are definitely moments of like freak out, just
Well,
pure
yes.
fear, like is this gonna work? But yeah, like it's just putting yourself out there and trying something different. And I think, yeah, even if it quote unquote fails, later on, like at least I've given it a try. And
And
I
you
think,
are definitely learned something.
oh yeah,
You
for sure.
will have definitely learned
Yeah.
something. And think about, would you say that your confidence is so much more because you have put yourself out there?
Oh, that's it's such an interesting question because I feel like on the day to day I don't feel that way, but if I
Mm-hmm.
look back even just
Mm-hmm.
to a few months ago where I was picking like the domain of my website, like making decisions way back then at the time that felt so huge. But today I'm just like, wow, that's just such an easy, like minute thing. So I think, yeah, to answer your question, like I don't feel like I realize the confidence that I've gained.
Mm-hmm.
But if I look back, yeah, it's a huge difference. Yeah.
I Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I
Sorry.
would say that the growth is like going to therapy on steroids. Like the entrepreneurship, what I've learned from like confronting all of my limiting beliefs,
Mm,
personal limiting beliefs about money, about sales, about
mm-hmm.
marketing, about putting myself out there, about so many things. Oh, it's been a roller coaster. It's not easy. I would say I thought, oh, the grass is greener on the other side for entrepreneurship, and to say, like F you to the corporate world, but it's not easy. It's
Mm-mm.
really, I think social media really highlights the success stories a lot more than the challenges.
Right.
The overnight success, the going viral, from a video and things like that. I think it takes so much work. And it's not even just the hours that you put in. Like I do definitely work a lot more than I have ever had in my life, but I think it's the brain juice that you pour into the project. It's how much you care, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, that's what takes a lot of resilience, I would say, to keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you brought up a really good point that I want to point out to everybody else, and I've mentioned before, is that, sometimes the day to day, it doesn't feel like you're growing, it doesn't feel like you're changing, but just look back.
Mm-hmm.
Just look back, like you said, you can go back even just a few months, go back a year. Where were you a year ago? Where were you 5 years ago? I can look back, and I would say the biggest part of my healing really has been the last, I would say, 13 years. And when I
Mm.
think about where I was at 13 years ago, and I thought then, oh, I've come a long way. And I had, but the growth between then and now is substantial. But I sometimes, if I just think about what I did yesterday or what I did today, I don't see that growth. But when I look back, that's when I see the growth.
Mm-hmm.